I'm Brad the Solar Guy. I'm here to answer all your questions about residential solar. Today, I'm just going to do a quick overview of the federal tax credit. It's pretty simple. It's called the ITC, the federal ITC. It's a 30% federal tax credit on going solar. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means that if you go solar and you choose to own the system by purchasing it with cash or a loan so that you own it, you then benefit by getting the 30% federal tax credit. So that's fantastic and everything, but how do you get that money? And can you get it? So a 30% federal tax credit, here's the way it works so that you can calculate whether you can receive it or not. So first of all, there's no cap, there's no income cap. So if your income is high, they don't penalize you, or if your income is low, they don't penalize you. It's just based on how much federal income tax you pay, right? So let me give an example. So say you spend $50,000 on a solar system, that would make you eligible for a $15,000 federal income tax credit. So 30%. If you have a $15,000 federal income tax credit, in order to collect that money in 1 year, you would have to pay in $15,000 in federal income tax or more in order for them to give you all of that money back. So you either need to owe or have paid that much money in that year in order to get it all back. Now, that may not be the case, in which case it actually can roll. So it can roll to the following year. So if you say only paid $10,000 in federal income tax in the year that you went solar, but you had a $15,000 income tax credit, you would get a check from the federal government for $10,000, similar to a refund, but it's for your tax credit. Now, you would still have a $5,000 tax credit that would roll to the following year. And if you paid $5,000 in federal income tax or more the following year, they will write you a check for $5,000. So a bunch of things are really important about this. First of all, you just got to know what your tax situation is in order to know if you can collect this and how fast. Now, my understanding is it rolls for 5 years, but it may be that it just rolls infinitely. But actually, that brings me to another point that's important for me to say. So I am not a tax expert. I cannot legally give everyone tax advice. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows that while the information I'm giving is accurate, I really need you to go and check with your accountant or someone who can legally give you tax advice to make sure that everything I'm telling you is correct. So just please do that. If you pay $5,000 in federal income tax a year on average, or you will over the next 3 years, then you would collect $5,000 a year. So this is important information to know for a couple reasons. One, almost all solar loans are structured in a way where you can use that tax credit as a deferred down payment. So you can pay it in 12 to 15 or 18 months, depending on the loan. And they have structured it so that they're expecting that. So you can go into it for no money down, and then you have a big 30% deposit base, down payment. You're just making it about a year or so into the deal, and that will lower your monthly payment. But this is critical. If you can't collect that tax credit in that time frame, you're not going to be able to pay it all in, which means that low payment you've been quoted is not what you will get. You'll get a higher payment. So this is very important for you to understand so that you don't get slammed with this higher payment a year and a half into your solar deal. I'm hoping this makes sense. Also, critically, if you can't really collect the tax credit or be very slow, it may be that owning solar is not the way to go, and doing a lease or a power purchase agreement might be much better, because then the tax credit is kind of baked into the deal. So in that case, what happens is the solar company, the finance part of the solar company, owns the equipment, and therefore they collect the tax credit, and then the savings get passed on to you. So that can be very beneficial for people who are retired or in just a position where they don't have much tax liability. And these days, honestly, a lease is just better if you just want to save money right away every month, which is why I leased my second solar system instead of owning it, because I wanted to save money right away. So I hope this helps explain all the tax credits. There's also in Massachusetts, there's a $1,000 state tax credit, works the same way. You have to pay in order to get it back out. Please let me know your questions or comments in the comments down below. Have a great day.